negative 2. Okay? Now, that's positive minus positive, but what if you have a negative minus a positive, or a positive minus a negative, right? So we got to do those also. If you have a positive and you subtract a negative, how would we model that? So for example, let's say we have 3 and we take away a negative, so not a positive, we take away a negative. So let's say we take away another 2 negatives. Okay, so we have 3 minus negative 2. So in our box, we start off with 3 positives. 1, 2, 3. And we want to take out not 2, but we want to take out 2 negatives. Do we have any negatives to take out? No, there's no negatives. So when there's no negatives to take out, guess what you're going to have to add in? Those ghost pairs, right? These 0 pairs. I need 2 0 pairs because I need 2 negatives, right? I'm going to add them into the box. So now I have my 3 positives that I started off with, and then I have 2 0 pairs. But now can I take away 2 negatives from here? Yes. If I take out these 2 negatives, take them out, what am I left with in the box? Then I'm left with 5 positives. Okay. So in terms of money, what I always tell kids is you have $3 and the bank is willing to take away $2 debt. But if you don't owe any money, you're going to gain that $2. So if you already have 3 and they're willing to take away $2 debt and you don't have any debt for them to take away, then you end up gaining those $2, right? It's kind of like they say, oh, you don't have to pay us back $2. Well, we didn't owe them $2. So then we end up getting $5. Let's model this one more time. So let's say it's 4 minus negative 3. So again, we start off with 4 positives, and we want to take out 3 negatives. Do we have 3 negatives to take out? No. So this is where you have to add in your 0 pairs. We need 3 negatives, so we'll add in 3 0 pairs. When we add those in, our box looks like this. We still have our 4 positives, but now we have these ghost pairs. They're not really there, right? And so then, can I take out 3 negatives? Sure. Once I take out these 3 negatives, what am I left with? 7 positives. Okay. Again, same thing. If you have $4 and the bank is willing to take away $3 debt, and you don't have any debt for them to take away, you end up gaining that $3. It's kind of like them telling you, you don't have to pay us back $3. Well, we don't owe you $3. So then we get that $3 and it'd be 7. Okay? All right. Now let's do a negative minus a positive. What if you have a negative and you want to take away positives? Now here's the thing, if you have negatives and you want to take away positives, you're not going to have any positives. So it's going to be the same thing where we have to add in our ghost pairs, our 0 pairs. So for example, I'm just going to do one of these because it's very similar to that. So let's say we have negative 5 and we want to take out 2. So draw 5 negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to take away 2 positives. We don't have any positives to take away, right? So guess what we're going to have to add in so that we can take 2 positives away? We have to add in our ghost pairs, our 0 pairs. Once we add those in, our box still has the 5 negatives, and then they have the ghosts in the room, right? They're not really there, okay, but you can see them. Now can we take away 2 positives? Yes, and if we take these 2 positives out, what are we left with in the box? We're left with 7 negatives. Okay. Now in terms of money, this makes sense because here you owe $5, so you already owe the bank 5, and then you try and take out another $2. Then you're going to end up owing what? $7. Okay. All right. Our last example is a negative minus a negative. So let's start with negative 6 minus negative 2. So in your box, you have 6 negatives. And here you want to take out 2 negatives. Now here, do we have 2 negatives we can take out? Yes, we do. We can take these 2 negatives out, right? And then what are we left with in the box? 4 negatives left over. So again, this is like the bank. You owe $6. They're willing to take away $2 debt. They're like, don't worry about paying us the $2 you owe us. Then that means you only owe them $4, right? So here you had negatives, and you want to take out negatives, and you had negatives to take out, so then you have less negatives in your box. Okay, but what about when what you want to take out is more than what you have? Okay, when what you want to take out is more than what you have. So I'm going to have to start on the next page here. So this is still negative minus negative, but what if you have negative 3 and you want to take out negative 5? Okay, so again, in your box, you start off with 3 negatives. And I want to take out 5. Do I have 5 negatives? No, I only have 3 negatives. I'm missing 2 negatives. So guess what? When I don't have enough to take out, I have to add in my ghost pairs, my 0 pairs. These are zeros, right? Add them into the box. It's almost like they're not there, right? Because they don't really exist. They're zeros. But now can I take away the 5 negatives? Yes. Here are the 5 negatives I'm going to take out. I'm going to take out those 5 negatives. And so then what am I left with in my box? 2 positives. Now in terms of money, it's like you owe the bank $3 and they say, you know what? Don't worry about the $5 you owe us. Well, you only owe them 3. So if they say, oh, don't worry about the $5, you end up gaining $2 because you only owe them 3, and then you get to keep 2 of those because they're willing to take away debt from you, and you only owe them 3 and they were willing to take away 5, which means you gain $2. Okay? Let's do one more example like that. Okay, this time let's go ahead and do negative 2 minus negative 6. So again, here you start off with 2 negatives, but they want to take away 6 negatives. They want to take out 6 negatives. Do you have 6 negatives for them to take out? No, you only have 2. So guess what you're going to have to add in? Those imaginary, those ghost pairs, right? The 0 pairs. How many negatives do we need in order to take out 6 negatives? We need 4 more negatives. So we're going to add in 4 0 pairs. It's like we're adding 4 ghosts into the room. So now your box has the 2 negatives that you started off with, but then it's also got these 4 extra ghosts in the room, right? They're not really there. They're zeros. They're zeros. But now can we take out 6 negatives? Sure. We take the 2 that you have and then the 4 that you don't have. Take it all out. And then what are you left with? The 4 positives. Okay? Again, in terms of money, you owe the bank 2. They're willing to take away $6 debt. Well, you only have $2 debt. So that means you end up gaining $4 because you don't owe them that much, right? So if they're willing to take away $6 debt, they're basically giving you $6. And since you only owe them 2, you gain 4.